Hello. Today on episode 348 of your favorite daily podcast, a couple of things, a podcast about things, I'm going to be talking about something that has been on my mind for the past couple of days, which is about pain and pressure and knowing the difference, and more from a physical point of view, and how I'm thinking about it outside of a physical point of view as well. Let's get into it. So a couple of days ago, I had one of my teeth extracted, and the dentist said something before he started. He was like, you will feel pressure, but you shouldn't feel pain. So if you're feeling any pain, let me know. And I found that very interesting. I have stuck with me since then because I'm thinking about, it was very interesting because I started thinking about like the differences between, or the difference between pain and pressure, because even as he said it, I was like, okay, sure. But when he started, I was actually not feeling any pain. I felt nothing. I felt absolutely nothing. Even when they were sewing it, I saw them putting the needle in my mouth, but I felt nothing. It was so strange. But I could feel the pressure of the drilling and the tugging and all those things. I could feel it, but there was no pain. And it made me start thinking about it from like a non-physical point of view. Like, obviously, then I started thinking about actually like physically, what does pain do for us? When you feel pain, it's a signal basically that your body's letting you know that something is happening. Like, even physiologically, if you have a cut but you don't know, when you feel the pain, then you realize that you have a cut. Things like that, like if something stings you, blah blah blah, you realize it signals something to you that, oh, something is wrong, something is weird, or something like that. And yeah, you can read all about it. There's a lot of articles that have been written about the purpose of physical, like why you feel physical pain. And but from a, I don't know, emotional, not physical point of view, I don't know what the point is yet. But I don't know if like pain is distinguishable from suffering, or if they're the same thing now from a like not physical point of view, because I'm thinking of the time I had surgery. I felt like I was dying in the recovery period because it was so painful to laugh or to talk or to do anything. And even with this tooth extraction as well, the pain that I felt when the anesthesia wore off, Jesus Christ, like it was so bad that I was feeling the pain in my chest. And then I figured out when I took the painkillers again, and how I felt absolutely nothing. It felt like nothing was happening. It felt like I didn't have any pain. And it's wore out again, and I felt the pain again. So I've just been in a constant cycle of going up and down with this stupid pain. But and the reason why I'm talking like this now is because I took painkillers and I feel nothing. But this morning, I felt like I was dying. I had to go back to the dentist because I felt like I was dying. I was like, you should check something wrong. This is too much pain. Like, is this still supposed to hurt this much? But the point, I guess, going back to my actual point, which is about pain versus pressure, is how do you know what if what you're experiencing is a situation where there is pressure to arrive at something good. So in my case, is the pressure of like the physical pressure that I was experiencing when they were extracting my tooth, was to arrive at a good situation where this tooth that was bothering me will no longer be bothering me, and my teeth and my mouth will be in perfect health. And taking that out of the physiological aspect of it to like real life, how do I know if a situation that I'm in is a thing of pressure versus pain? Because sometimes it's difficult to distinguish. And I touched on it a bit in yesterday's episode with Tolu. But it's like, let's say, trying to think of an example. Let's say you're in a bad job, for example. Is that pressure or is that pain? And could it be one and then become the other? So could it start as pressure and then become pain? Or could it start as pain and then become pressure? Or let's say you have a group of friends where, you know, maybe you don't feel so good about it anymore. Is that pressure? Is that pain? And from an emotional point of view, from a mental point of view, from a psychological point of view, how do you deal with that? So maybe you can avoid pressure, but you can't avoid pain, is one way that I've been thinking about it. Because, like, when the dentist was doing the thing in my teeth and there was pressure, at any point he could have stopped and the pressure is gone. But when the pain hits me, you can't really avoid pain. You can suppress it, which is what I've been doing with the painkillers, but you can't really avoid it. It doesn't actually go. It's still there. I'm just not feeling it. And if you apply the same emotionally, you can numb yourself and everything, but the pain is still there. It's not gone. You can't ignore it. You have to deal with it. You have to deal with the pain. So I guess that's the difference. I don't know. I don't know. This is just my random thoughts and ramblings about this topic because it's just been on my mind for the past couple days. Okay, so I decided to ask Kainene and Gemini. Kainene is a Telegram bot that's Justin built based on ChatGPT, if I remember correctly. But anyway, this is what they said. Kainene says that from a physical point of view, pain is a distressing feeling often caused by intense or damaging stimuli, a signal to our body. A signal from our bodies that something is wrong and needs attention. Pain can be acute, sudden, and short lived, or chronic, long lasting, and persistent. Physiologically, pain serves as a warning mechanism to protect the body from further harm, while pressure refers to the force applied to a surface or an object. It can be a physical force pushing down on something. In terms of the body, pressure can refer to compression or constriction of tissues or organ, which may cause discomfort, but not necessarily the sharp sensation associated with pain. Gemini says, from a physiological standpoint, pain is usually localized, usually a localized sensation. Um, yeah, it goes into the biology of it. I'm not going to talk about that. And then pressure is physical force, like I said, and it's more diffuse, while pain is more localized. And pressure feels like fullness, tightness, or squeezing. There's a different sensory receptor in your body that is responsible for that. Um, but the part I'm more interested in is the emotional and metaphorical part, which is what I asked them as well to describe for me. So kindness is that pain emotionally or metaphorically refers to psychological or emotional suffering, anguish, or distress, which can encompass feelings of grief, heartache, or sorrow. And pain can arise from various sources such as loss, rejection, trauma, and can deeply affect one's mental well being. Gemini basically says the same thing as well, associated with grief, loss, heartache, or trauma, often stems from those places. Whereas pressure usually stems from expectations or demands, um, implying stress or tension felt in a situation. So the weight of responsibilities, deadlines, social demands that create a sense of burden or strain, which can lead to overwhelm, or can also lead to motivation actually. Um, but pressure can also be caused by internal factors like perfectionism or self criticism. So basically, Gemini gave me a very nice table. Pain often stems from loss or trauma, is often debilitating and intense, and can lead to withdrawal, avoidance, or emotional numbness. While pressure often stems from expectations or demands, whether internal or external, and is more generalized, feels very overwhelming, and can lead to anxiety, stress, or burnout. And there are overlaps between them, obviously, because when you feel high pressure, when you're in a high pressure situation, some people feel those things physically in their bodies. Like you can feel muscle tension, physical chest pain, things like that when you are under emotional stress or some other kind of stress. So I like these descriptions because it actually gets to what I am trying to get at. And I like that kindness said that pressure can lead to motivation, because something that I also was thinking that came into my mind when I was thinking about this pain pressure dichotomy was the thing that people always talk about, how diamonds are formed under pressure. I didn't Google that to see, like, to read about it, but there's something I've probably heard before, and it's just, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll end it here. That's it for today. Thank you for listening. Bye. Thank you for listening to today's episode of A Couple of Things. If there was anything you found interesting or insightful, or you enjoyed the episode, please do share to someone or multiple people. Like, leave a comment, and definitely do subscribe and all the nice things. Bye.